Imagine this, you're pushing a car uphill. At first, it feels impossible. Every muscle in your body screams, give up, but then something changes. The car starts to roll. Slowly at first, then faster. Now, you're not just pushing the car, you're running alongside it. That's momentum. And once you've got it, nothing can stop you. Here's the truth, momentum isn't just a concept. It's a life-changing force, and it's already within your reach. Whether you're building a business, transforming your health, or reigniting a relationship, momentum is the key to turning struggle into effortless progress. But here's the catch, most people never unlock it because they quit too soon. Today, I'm going to show you how to break free from that cycle. We'll talk about how to build momentum from scratch, how to sustain it when life throws you challenges, and how to turn it into an unstoppable force in your life. And trust me, once you've tasted the power of momentum, you'll never settle for less again. If you're tired of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like you're spinning your wheels, then stick with me. Because by the end of this speech, you'll not only believe in the power of momentum, you'll have the tools to unleash it in every area of your life. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Momentum is the secret force that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It's the invisible engine driving every great success, yet most people don't recognize its power until they feel it. Think about it when things are going right. Everything seems to align. Opportunities appear out of nowhere, energy flows effortlessly, and progress feels natural, even inevitable. That's momentum at work. But what's most incredible is that this force isn't reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It's available to anyone who understands how to harness it. The magic of momentum lies in its ability to amplify everything you do. It's not just about working harder, it's about creating a chain reaction where one small victory leads to another and another. Momentum has the power to turn a single step into a sprint, a single spark into a wildfire. It transforms effort into acceleration and acceleration into unstoppable progress. The question isn't whether momentum works, the question is whether you're using it to your advantage. The challenge with momentum is that it doesn't come for free. At the start, it feels like you're putting in a massive amount of effort for very little payoff. Imagine trying to push a giant boulder that's completely still. It takes every ounce of your strength to get it to budge. But the moment the boulder starts to roll, the effort becomes easier, the movement more natural. And soon, it's moving with a force of its own. The early stages of building momentum are always the hardest, and that's where most people give up. They stop just before the magic happens, convincing themselves that the effort isn't worth it. This is why understanding the power of momentum is so crucial. It's not just about knowing that momentum exists, it's about committing to that initial push, even when it feels like you're moving in slow motion. The secret is to focus on small, consistent actions. Each step, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture. The beauty of momentum is that once you've built it, it starts working for you. Instead of fighting uphill, you're being carried forward by a force that you created. Momentum doesn't just apply to physical tasks or projects, it's a universal principle that works in every area of life. Whether it's your health, career, relationships, or personal growth, momentum is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's why small habits repeated daily lead to massive transformations over time. It's why sticking with something, even when it's hard, pays off in ways you can't foresee. What makes momentum so powerful is its compounding nature. Every action builds on the one before it, creating a domino effect that accelerates your progress. Success, it turns out, isn't about bursts of effort, it's about creating a rhythm and staying in motion. When you understand this, everything changes. Momentum isn't just a concept, it becomes your greatest ally in achieving the extraordinary. The journey from a standstill to being unstoppable is one of the most transformative experiences you can have. At the start, it feels like you're staring at a mountain that's impossible to climb. The path ahead is daunting, your energy feels insufficient, and doubts begin to creep in. But here's the truth, every great achievement, every unstoppable force began with a single step. And once that step is taken, momentum starts to work its magic. The hardest part of any journey is the beginning. It's when your effort feels disproportionate to the results you see. Imagine trying to start pedaling a bicycle that's completely still. At first, every push on the pedals feels exhausting, like you're fighting against gravity itself. But then something remarkable happens. With each turn of the wheel, the effort becomes easier, the motion smoother, and soon you're gliding effortlessly forward. That's the power of momentum in action. Momentum is a game changer because it transforms struggle into flow. It shifts you from a place where every move feels forced to a state where progress becomes almost automatic. But here's the secret most people don't realize: it doesn't take massive leaps to create momentum. It's the small, consistent actions that matter most. One step becomes two. Two steps become four. And before you know it, you've covered ground you never thought possible. The beauty of momentum lies in its ability to magnify your efforts. A single push might seem insignificant, but when it's followed by another and another and another, the effects compound. This is why starting, no matter how small, is so crucial. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just need to trust that movement creates energy, and energy fuels momentum. What makes momentum so transformative is that it doesn't just build results, it changes you. As you move forward, you begin to see evidence of your progress. This builds confidence, which fuels more action, which then creates more momentum. It's a positive feedback loop that turns doubt into belief, hesitation into action, and effort into achievement. The biggest mistake people make is stopping before momentum has a chance to take hold. They look for immediate results, and when they don't see them, they give up. But momentum is a patient force. It rewards those who persist, those who are willing to keep moving, even when the progress feels slow. The moment you commit to consistent action, you're setting the stage for a breakthrough. When momentum truly kicks in, everything changes. The same actions that once felt like a grind now feel effortless. Challenges that seemed insurmountable are handled with ease. You're no longer pushing against resistance, you're riding the wave of progress you've created. This is the essence of being unstoppable. It's not about never facing obstacles, but about having the force of momentum behind you to overcome them. The journey from a standstill to unstoppable might begin with struggle, but it ends with power. It's a reminder that every great movement starts small, but with consistency and faith, it becomes a force that nothing can stop. Momentum is the key differentiator between those who dream and those who achieve. Too often, people quit right before they reach the breakthrough that would have propelled them forward. They become discouraged by the slow pace, the early failures, and the seemingly insurmountable challenges that stand in their way. What they don't realize is that momentum is built in the trenches of persistence, not in moments of instant success. It's a force that requires patience, resilience, and most importantly, consistency. When you first start working toward a goal, the progress can feel painfully slow. You might feel like you're putting in massive amounts of effort with little to show for it. This is the make or break moment. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who fall short lies in their ability to keep going, even when the results are not immediately apparent. The critical mistake people make is expecting immediate rewards for their hard work. When they don't see results quickly, they assume the effort is futile and give up. But what they don't realize is that momentum is a long game, and those who stick with it are the ones who eventually tap into its transformative power. The power of momentum lies in the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions. Think about a snowball rolling down a hill. At first it's small, almost insignificant. But with each revolution, it picks up more snow, gaining size, speed, and power. It becomes unstoppable. Building momentum works in the same way. Every small action, every minor step forward contributes to the larger goal. You may not see the effects immediately, but over time, those actions compound, creating exponential growth. This is why consistency is key. It's not about massive overnight success. It's about making daily progress and allowing that to build into something much bigger than what you can achieve in one giant leap. The key is learning to push through the initial resistance. The first few weeks, the first few months, even the first few years might feel like a grind. You'll hit roadblocks, encounter failures, and experience moments of doubt. But if you don't quit, you're building momentum. Each setback is just another step forward in disguise. It's during these challenging times that the foundations of success are laid. When you persist despite obstacles, you are not only moving closer to your goal, you are creating an inner strength that will carry you through even greater challenges in the future. Most people give up too soon because they don't see how much closer they are to their breakthrough. Momentum is like a hidden force. It's not always visible at first. But once it gains momentum, it becomes a powerful ally. It's the quiet confidence that grows with every small win, the sense that you're no longer fighting against the tide, but riding it. The key is to keep going, even when you're not seeing the immediate results you hope for. It's the consistent effort, the refusal to quit, that ultimately unleashes the power of momentum. If you want to turn your dreams into reality, you must commit to building momentum, regardless of how long it takes. Trust in the process, trust in the power of small actions, and keep moving forward. Because once momentum takes hold, it's the driving force that will carry you further than you ever imagined. Momentum is not built in one giant leap. It's created through a series of small, consistent wins that accumulate over time. The secret to sustaining momentum is understanding that every day is an opportunity to make progress, no matter how minor it may seem. Most people look for quick fixes or massive breakthroughs, but real momentum is the result of making small improvements consistently. It's the compounding effect of tiny actions that, when repeated, can create massive transformation. The key is to start with something achievable, build on that success, and repeat it day after day. Imagine setting a goal to run a marathon. The first day, you may only run a mile, but you do it consistently every day. After a week, you might be running 2 miles, then 3, and so on. As you build your endurance, the goal doesn't seem as intimidating because you've built a foundation of consistent effort. This process works in any area of life. Whether you're working on a project, improving your health, or learning a new skill, the momentum you build from these small daily actions gradually transforms your approach and results. Small wins are incredibly powerful because they build a sense of progress. Human beings are wired to respond positively to progress, even if it's in small doses. This progress triggers feelings of achievement and reinforces the desire to keep moving forward. When you see tangible improvements, even on a small scale, it motivates you to continue. It becomes a cycle. The more wins you stack, the more confident, energized you become, and the more momentum you generate. What started as a small effort turns into an unstoppable force simply because you didn't let go after the first, second, or third attempt. The beauty of stacking small wins is that they allow you to sustain momentum even during tough times. Life is unpredictable, and there will inevitably be setbacks. However, when momentum is built on small, consistent actions, you don't need a huge breakthrough to get back on track. Instead, you can fall back on the momentum you've created through your steady progress. Even if you take a step back, you're not starting from scratch. You're simply adjusting and continuing to build upon what you've already accomplished. Small wins also build a sense of mastery and confidence. The more you experience success, even in small increments, the more capable you feel. This sense of mastery fuels your drive to keep going, and soon you find yourself tackling bigger challenges with the same consistency and persistence that you used to achieve your smaller goals. You realize that it's not the magnitude of the actions that matter, but the consistency with which you take them. This understanding shifts your perspective from being overwhelmed by the end goal to embracing the power of the process. In the end, momentum thrives on consistent action. The most successful people aren't necessarily the ones with the best ideas or the most natural talent. They're the ones who understand the power of small wins and keep building on them. By focusing on what you can do today, no matter how small, you're setting the foundation for something much larger. Over time, those small wins will lead to massive accomplishments, and before you know it, you'll find yourself achieving things you once thought were impossible simply because you trusted the process of consistent action. Losing momentum is more than just a temporary setback. It's a significant barrier that makes everything harder. Once you've built momentum, it can feel like you're in a flow state, and progress comes with ease. But when you stop, even for a short period, you're not just pausing, you're essentially resetting everything you've worked for. The challenge is that once momentum is lost, it's not as simple as picking up where you left off. The climb becomes steeper, the effort feels greater, and the process of rebuilding momentum takes longer and demands more energy. This is why it's crucial to protect the momentum you've built at all costs. When you're in motion, it feels almost effortless. You're riding the wave of progress and everything seems to align. It feels as though success is just around the corner because your momentum is propelling you forward. However, the moment you stop or slow down, even for a brief time, that smooth, effortless flow is interrupted. The force that was driving you begins to dissipate. Think of it like trying to push a car uphill. Once you stop pushing, the car will start to roll backward. And getting it back to the top becomes far more difficult than it was the first time. This is why it's vital to maintain your momentum, even if it means adjusting along the way. A single day off from your routine might not seem like a big deal, but over time, those small breaks start to add up. Each time you pause or procrastinate, you push yourself further from your goal. The longer you stay out of motion, the harder it becomes to start again, and the more you risk losing the progress you've made. Momentum thrives on consistency, and any break in that consistency can disrupt the flow of progress. What's even more challenging is the mental toll of losing momentum. When you're making steady progress, your belief in yourself grows stronger. Each small success builds your confidence, and the process feels more natural. However, when momentum is lost, that belief begins to waver. Doubts creep in, and the excitement of moving forward is replaced by the frustration of having to start over. It becomes easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the goal is too far out of reach, and that's when it's tempting to give up. But the truth is, every time you stop, you're not just losing time, you're losing the belief that momentum carries you forward. The cost of losing momentum extends beyond just the physical or mental energy it takes to restart. It's also the emotional cost. The initial stages of gaining momentum are filled with discomfort, uncertainty, and hard work. But the longer you continue, the easier it gets, and you begin to see the rewards. Stopping interrupts this flow and can lead to frustration and discouragement. What seemed like an achievable goal now feels distant and overwhelming. This is why it's so important to create habits and routines that help you stay in motion, even when things get tough. To truly harness the power of momentum, you need to build safeguards against losing it. Set up systems that keep you moving forward, even when motivation wanes. This could mean breaking your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks, creating accountability systems, or simply committing to daily actions that don't feel overwhelming but keep you in motion. By ensuring you stay consistent, even in small ways, you protect the momentum you've worked so hard to build and ensure that progress continues to flow effortlessly. Creating unstoppable momentum in your life isn't just about making random moves forward. It's about understanding the right actions to take and implementing them consistently. Once you realize that momentum is not a mystical force but a practical tool that can be nurtured and controlled, you gain the power to shape your life in ways you never thought possible. Building momentum is less about having a grand vision at the outset and more about taking deliberate steps every day that push you toward your goal. By aligning your actions with your intentions and making progress a daily habit, you unlock an ongoing source of energy that propels you forward no matter the challenge. The first step in building momentum is identifying the areas of your life where you want to create positive change. Whether it's improving your career, your health, your relationships, or your personal growth, momentum begins with a clear vision. You don't need to have all the answers, but you must have clarity about where you want to go. Once you've set that direction, it's time to break your goals down into smaller, achievable actions. This is where most people fail. They try to tackle everything at once, or they set such massive goals that the weight of them feels paralyzing. Instead, focus on taking consistent, bite-sized steps that move you in the right direction. When you make progress a habit, it becomes easier to stay in motion. Momentum thrives on small wins because each one reinforces your belief in yourself and your ability to succeed. These small wins might not feel significant in the moment, but over time, they create a snowball effect. With every success, your confidence grows, your energy builds, and the next step feels more natural. The key is to never underestimate the power of these small victories. It's the cumulative effect of them that turns small actions into massive results. The process of building momentum is often more about persistence than perfection. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and moments of doubt along the way, but it's crucial to stay committed to consistent action. Momentum is like a muscle that strengthens with use. The more you work at it, the more power you generate. Even on the days when it feels like you're not making progress, you're still moving forward, and every action contributes to the greater whole. By adopting this mindset, you shift from seeking instant results to embracing the long-term process that ultimately delivers success. An important aspect of building momentum is understanding that it's not about massive overnight transformations. Real success doesn't happen in one big breakthrough. It's the result of daily, steady progress. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who keep taking those small steps, day in and day out, no matter how slow or challenging it seems. You're not looking for overnight success, you're looking for consistent improvement. This mindset not only keeps you focused, but also helps you weather the inevitable challenges that arise. Once you've gained momentum, the key is to protect it. Maintaining momentum is much easier than building it, but it requires you to stay consistent and engaged. One of the most powerful tools for sustaining momentum is creating systems that support it. Whether that's developing routines that keep you on track, setting clear goals, or having accountability partners, these systems make it easier to stay in motion even when motivation wanes. Protecting your momentum means recognizing when it's slipping and taking immediate action to get back on track before it dissipates completely. Keeping your goals in sight and your actions consistent will allow you to ride the wave of momentum for as long as you choose. Ultimately, building momentum is about developing a mindset that embraces small, consistent actions over time. The true power of momentum is that it doesn't require perfection, massive effort, or sudden breakthroughs. It's about showing up every day, making steady progress, and allowing the momentum you've created to propel you toward your goals. When you understand this, you tap into an unstoppable force that will carry you further than you ever imagined.